Consumer Reports is ringing alarm bells this morning over pork safety. A new study shows chops and ground pork may be full of bad bacteria. Jim Axelrod is here with the story. Jim, good morning.
Well, good morning, Nora. A whole host of foodborne illnesses is caused by these bacteria. We're talking about stomach aches, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, even in the most extreme cases, death. But Consumer Reports says bacteria are not the only thing pork eaters should be worried about.
For years, pork has been promoted by the industry as a healthy food option, the other white meat.
Dinner's ready.
But a new report suggests otherwise.
We found potentially harmful bacteria on most of the samples of pork that we tested. One organism we looked at, Enterococcus, is more a measure of filth indication, maybe fecal contamination.
Of nearly 200 pork samples tested by Consumer Reports, many tested positive for salmonella, listeria, staph bacteria. The magazine says a whopping 69% contained Yersinia, which infects nearly 100,000 Americans every year. Children are especially vulnerable.
You always expect to find some bacteria in any meat product, but those are usually harmless. And I think the real surprise here was to find so many potentially disease-causing bacteria.
Even more, 90% of the bacteria Consumer Reports found were said to be resistant to antibiotics. In other words, they were superbugs.
All of those things paint a very concerning picture about this indiscriminate use of antibiotics in meat production in this country and what we believe are the resulting consequences of that.
Consumer Reports was also alarmed by traces of ractopamine in 1/5 of the pork they tested. Farmers use the drug on their hogs to produce leaner cuts of meat. It was originally developed to treat asthma, but never approved for human use. Scott Hurd, a former top food safety official at the USDA, who has done consulting work for the pork industry, says Consumer Reports is, quote, inflamed and used a small amount of data to frighten people. And he says the meat is safe.
The average person would have to eat over 700 pounds of pork every day for their entire life in order to get enough ractopamine to be above that acceptable level by FDA.
Hurd says the sample size of the Consumer Reports study is too small to draw any broader conclusions. But he adds that germs can be found in nearly everything we eat, so consumers should always be careful when handling meat. That means cooking it thoroughly and washing your hands. Charlie, Nora?
All right. Thank you very much.